All right, get ready to dive into something a little bit different today.
Oh, sounds intriguing.
We're taking a look at this technical document.
Okay.
It's called Oracle CPQ Cloud Fusion Configurator Reference Integration.
That title's a mouthful.
It is. Kind of dry at first glance, I'll admit.
I can imagine.
But trust me, there's some really cool stuff hidden in here.
Oh, like what?
It gives you this peek behind the curtain,
Okay.
into how businesses are using software to handle, like, the crazy complexity of sales these days.
Ah, so it's not just about the technical bits and pieces.
Not at all. It's like a decoder ring for understanding how companies streamline things, give customers exactly what they want, that sort of thing.
So it's about the big picture, the strategy behind it all.
Exactly. Now, to break it down a bit, this document's basically like an instruction manual
Okay.
for connecting two really powerful pieces of software, CPQ Cloud and Fusion Configurator.
CPQ, that's configure price, quote, right?
You got it. It's the brains behind handling all those intricate customized orders companies get.
Like if I wanted to order, say, a server built to my exact specs.
Exactly. Or some massive piece of industrial equipment with very specific options.
So CPQ handles all that behind the scenes.
Yep. Figures out the price, make sure everything works together the whole 9 yards.
And what about Fusion Configurator? Where does that fit in?
Think of it as the artist in this duo.
Oh.
It lets companies create those super detailed visual models of their products.
Ah, so customers can actually see what they're getting, how it all fits together.
Precisely. Instead of just imagining it from a list of specs.
That makes a lot of sense. So how would this actually play out in a real sales situation?
Picture this. You're a salesperson, and your customer wants something completely unique.
Okay.
It used to be a nightmare. Spreadsheets, phone calls, back and forth forever.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine the headache.
But now, with this integration, you could literally be sitting with the customer, using that visual configurator to design the product in real time.
Wow.
And the CPQ system instantly spits out an accurate quote.
No more waiting around for days?
So we're talking minutes, maybe even seconds.
That's got to be a game changer for businesses.
Absolutely. It's the kind of efficiency that can give you a real edge.
All right, so we've got the big picture. Now let's get a little more technical. How does this integration actually work?
So one of the key things they talk about are these payload templates.
Payload templates.
Yeah, it sounds kind of techie, I know.
A little bit.
But think of them as like digital messengers.
Okay.
They carry specific information back and forth between the two systems.
So what kind of information are we talking about?
All the important stuff. Product components, quantities, customizations, you name it.
Making sure everything's synced up, both systems are on the same page.
Exactly. Then there's this thing called the in-system details data table.
In-system details.
Yeah, it sounds a bit intimidating.
It does.
But from what I gathered, it's all about security, making sure sensitive info is exchanged safely.
Ah, so usernames, passwords, that kind of stuff.
You got it. And the document really stresses strong passwords, no surprises there.
Can't forget the basics, even with all this fancy tech.
For sure. Another interesting thing they emphasize is that both systems need to share a common parts list.
Common parts list, why is that so important?
Well, imagine the configurator showing a customer a part that's not actually available, or the price is different in the CPQ system.
Oh, yeah, that would be a mess.
Total chaos. So that shared list keeps everything in sync. The information's always accurate.
Makes sense. This whole integration is starting to sound like a very carefully choreographed dance.
It kind of is. All these different parts moving together smoothly.
Yeah.
And speaking of moving between systems, they also mention these things called selectors.
Selectors, huh?
Yeah, they're like guides, helping users pick the right configurator.
Okay, I'm following.
Like, let's say a company sells both cars and trucks. They might have separate configurators for each.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the selector figures out what the customer is looking for and points them in the right direction.
Like a choose-your-own-adventure for product configuration.
Exactly. And it shows that this integration isn't just about connecting two systems. It's about the whole customer experience.
Making things smooth, personalized, all that good stuff.
Precisely. And that focus on customer experience is part of a much bigger trend we're seeing.
Oh, what's that?
This drive to connect all sorts of software systems and businesses.
To make things more efficient.
Exactly. Think about all the different tools companies use. Sales, marketing, customer support.
It's a lot to juggle.
It is. And if they're not talking to each other, it's a nightmare.
Like trying to run a business with one hand tied behind your back.
Pretty much. So connecting those systems is like unleashing all that potential.
Making information flow freely, everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. So this document, it's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle
Showing us how businesses are using tech to adapt and thrive.
in a world that's just getting more and more complex.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Even something as technical as this document can give us insights into these bigger trends.
Totally. It's a reminder that technology is about more than just the gadgets and the code.
It's about how we work, how we interact with the world around us.
I'm definitely feeling like we need to dig deeper into this.
Me too. Uncover some more of those hidden gems.
Absolutely. But first, let's take a quick breather and let all this information sink in.
Sounds good to me. There's a lot to unpack here.
There is. And when we come back, we'll explore some of the real-world benefits of this integration, see how businesses are using it to achieve some pretty amazing results.
Can't wait. You know, it's amazing when you think about it.
I love that.
How much time businesses used to waste on stuff that's like totally automated now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even a simple quote
Right.
could take days to put together.
Oh, I've heard horror stories.
Salespeople spending hours, like hunched over spreadsheets, crunching numbers.
Ugh, the good old days, right?
And even then, there was always a chance of messing something up.
A typo, a misplaced decimal, boom, everything's off.
Exactly. But now, this CPQ and Fusion Configurator thing,
Yeah.
it just takes care of it.
No more human error.
Well, less, hopefully.
Less is good, but it's not just about being faster and more accurate, right?
Nope, it's about freeing up those salespeople,
Ah, to actually do what they're good at.
building relationships, figuring out what customers really need.
Exactly. Instead of being bogged down in like paperwork and calculations.
It's like imagine a chef who has to chop all their veggies by hand
Oh, that sounds tedious.
versus one who has a fancy food processor.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
They can both make amazing dishes, but the one with the processor has more time to, like, experiment and get creative.
That's a great analogy. And just like a good chef needs good ingredients.
This integration needs good information, right?
Exactly. Accurate, up to date, the whole shebang. That's where that shared parts list comes in.
And that boom explode thing we talked about.
Ah, yes. Biome explode. Sounds kind of intense.
Like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
But it's actually pretty straightforward when you get down to it.
So break it down for me.
Basically, it's like taking a complex product and exploding it, showing all the individual parts.
Okay, so like a blueprint for a machine.
Exactly. Or a recipe for a cake, even.
I'm starting to get it.
So when a customer is using that Fusion Configurator, building their custom product,
Yeah.
BM Explode makes sure every single part is accounted for.
Every nut and bolt, every sprinkle on the cake,
Exactly. And all that info goes straight to the CPQ system
which then calculates the price, checks if everything's available.
and spits out a super precise quote.
No more guesstimating, no more surprises.
It's like having a whole team of engineers and accountants working behind the scenes.
Making sure everything's perfect. And the customer just sees the final product.
A fast, accurate quote for exactly what they want. Pretty slick, huh?
It is. And it's not just about making the salesperson's life easier.
It's about that customer experience, right?
Exactly. Nowadays, customers want things fast, easy, personalized.
They don't have time to wait around.
Not to mention dealing with errors or inconsistencies.
Nope. They want to feel in control, like they're designing the perfect product themselves.
And this integration makes that possible.
It really does. You know, it's kind of crazy how far we've come with business software.
Tell me about it. I remember when just sending an invoice was a whole ordeal.
Oh, so many copies, so much paper.
And don't even get me started on trying to keep track of inventory before
Before we had these fancy systems, it was a nightmare.
like herding cats, honestly.
But now, with the cloud and all these interconnected systems, it's a whole different ballgame.
Everything's streamlined, automated. It's almost like magic.
Almost.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better.
Oh, for sure. AI, machine learning, the future of this stuff is wild.
I know. It's like we're entering this whole new era of business.
Where technology makes things possible that we couldn't have even dreamt of before.
It's pretty exciting. And it's not just for the big companies anymore.
Right, even small businesses can get in on the action.
There are so many affordable, user-friendly tools out there now.
It's like leveling the playing field, giving everyone access to this incredible technology.
It is. And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about changing how we think.
Ah, I see what you mean.
Embracing this idea of connectedness, breaking down those silos.
Making sure information flows freely, everyone's working together.
Exactly. And that's a key takeaway from this document, isn't it?
It is, even though it's about these specific Oracle systems.
The principles apply to any business, any software.
It's about understanding the power of integration, automation, and finding ways to apply it.
To your own unique situation, regardless of the tools you're using.
Exactly. It's like we stumbled upon this treasure map.
To a world of increased efficiency, better customer experiences.
And ultimately, greater success for everyone.
It's pretty inspiring stuff. But before we get too carried away.
We should probably take a breather, let all this sink in.
Good idea.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. And before we wrap things up, there's one more crucial aspect we need to address.
Oh, what's that?
Security.
Ah, yes, security. Can't forget about that.
Especially with all this talk about connecting systems, sharing information.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement and forget about the risks.
Exactly. But security is not an afterthought. It needs to be built in from the very beginning.
Like they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Totally. And the document does touch on this, mentioning secure passwords for that in-system details table.
That's a start, but we need to think bigger, right?
Absolutely. We need a whole security strategy, a comprehensive plan.
Covering everything from encryption to access controls to, like, what happens if something goes wrong?
It's like building a fortress around your data.
Making sure every entry point is secure, no weak spots.
Right. Because those cyber attacks are getting more sophisticated every day.
It's kind of scary, honestly.
It is. But we can't just bury our heads in the sand.
We need to be prepared.
Exactly. This reminds me of that zero trust security model.
Ah, zero trust. That sounds pretty intense.
It is, but it's a really good framework for this kind of interconnected world.
So break it down for me. What does it mean?
Basically, you don't automatically trust anyone or anything, even inside your own network.
So you're constantly checking, verifying, making sure everyone's who they say they are.
Exactly. Like having a security guard at every door, checking IDs, no exceptions.
I like that analogy. It really drives the point home.
It's about being proactive, thinking about security in a multi-layered way.
Not just putting up a firewall and hoping for the best.
Nope, you got to be vigilant, constantly monitoring, adapting, staying one step ahead.
You've definitely painted a vivid picture of the challenges.
But also the importance of getting it right.
Absolutely. But how can businesses actually put these measures in place?
It seems like it could get pretty complicated, expensive.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It doesn't have to be, though. There are lots of resources and tools out there.
So it's not just about hiring a whole team of cybersecurity experts.
Not necessarily. There are simple, affordable things any business can do.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, first off, strong passwords, multi-factor authentication.
Basic, but essential.
Absolutely. Then keep your software updated. Those updates often include security patches.
Makes sense. What else?
Train your employees on cybersecurity best practices. Human error is still a huge factor.
Oh yeah, people clicking on phishing links and whatnot.
Exactly. And then there's data encryption, access controls.
Those seem a bit more technical.
They are, but there are tools and services that can help you implement them without needing to be a tech whiz.
So there's really no excuse for neglecting security no matter what size business you are.
Exactly. It's not optional, it's fundamental.
It's about protecting your assets, your reputation, your bottom line.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And it's an ongoing conversation.
The threats are always changing, so we need to keep learning and adapting.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well said. We've covered a lot in this deep dive.
From the nitty-gritty details to the big picture implications.
Efficiency, customer experience, security. It's all connected.
It's been quite a journey uncovering all these hidden gems.
But before we wrap up completely...
There's one more intriguing detail we need to explore.
Oh, I'm all ears.
Let's dive back in.
Remember those selectors we were talking about? The ones that, like, guide you to the right configurator?
Yeah, like if you're choosing between configuring a car or a truck.
Right. Well, it turns out they can do more than just that.
Oh, like what?
They can actually connect to, like, entirely external configurators.
Now that's interesting.
It is, right? It adds a whole new level of, like, flexibility.
So instead of just choosing between configurators within the same system...
You could connect to one from a completely different company.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
So imagine a company that sells, I don't know, really specialized 3D printers.
Okay, high-tech stuff.
And they partner with another company that makes, say, the printing heads, which are super specific.
Right, specialized components.
Instead of trying to recreate that partner's configurator within their own system.
Which would be a pain, probably.
Exactly. They could just use a selector to seamlessly connect to it.
Ah, so the customer gets access to the most up-to-date options, straight from the source.
Precisely. No need to reinvent the wheel.
And it keeps things simple for the companies selling the 3D printers.
They don't have to worry about keeping everything in sync. It's all handled by the partner.
This whole integration is starting to feel less like connecting two systems.
And more like building a whole ecosystem.
Right, like a network of companies and tools all working together.
Exactly. It's about creating this seamless experience for the customer, no matter how complex the product is.
So it's not just about CPQ and Fusion Configurator anymore.
It's a bigger picture thing, a shift in how businesses operate.
Moving away from those closed systems, embracing partnerships, leveraging expertise wherever they can find it.
It's a pretty exciting trend when you think about it.
It is. It makes you wonder, what else could we connect? What other possibilities are out there?
I know. It's like this whole new world of collaborative innovation is opening up.
And this document, it's like a glimpse into that world.
A reminder that technology can be about more than just automation.
It can be about connection, partnership, creating something truly unique and valuable.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too! Ready to go out there and start connecting everything in sight.
Haha, almost. But first, let's take a moment to recap what we've learned from this deep dive.
Good idea. It's been a whirlwind of information.
We started by looking at this seemingly dry technical document.
About integrating Oracle CPQ Cloud and Fusion Configurator.
We learned how these systems work together to handle, the really complex stuff.
Configuration, pricing, quoting, all that good stuff.
We talked about the importance of those payload templates for communication.
And the security measures built in with the in-system details table.
We even went into that whole bomb explode thing.
Breaking down products into their individual parts, ensuring accurate quotes.
And then those selectors, not just guiding users, but connecting to external systems.
Opening up all sorts of possibilities for collaboration.
It's been a journey, for sure, but more than just the technical details.
We've seen how this document reflects these bigger trends in the business world.
This move towards connectedness, automation, breaking down silos.
Embracing the power of collaboration to create something truly remarkable.
It's been a fascinating exploration, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Absolutely. And we encourage you to keep thinking about these ideas even after the episode's over.
What can you connect in your own work? How can you automate? How can you collaborate?
The answers might surprise you, and the journey will definitely be an interesting one.
That's all from us for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.